What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to the Punk Rock Review. So I don't normally do this. I think this might actually be a first. I'm going to review a book today. I have been a fan of Kathleen Hanna, Bikini Kill, and Tigre for quite some time. Probably over 20 years? Maybe more than that even. I became aware of them in my early 20s. I wasn't listening to that music when I was a teenager, but very early on in my adult life, I was turned on to Tigre first, actually, and I had heard some Bikini Kill songs, but didn't know that's what I was hearing type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Kathleen Hanna, who fronted both of those bands, wrote a book called Rebel Girl, My Life as a Feminist Punk. I do believe it came out like a year ago. I could be mistaken. It might have just come out this May, but I thought it said May 2024. But I listened to it. I didn't read the actual book. I'm doing some research for a couple of videos I want to work on for females in punk, like women in punk. Women are punk. I'm doing this 3-part series. It's slow moving because I got other things that I'm working on too, but I am working on this series of videos. And I just wanted to talk about this book for a few minutes, give you my thoughts on it. I also think it's incredibly important to talk about why men should read a book like this. Why... I don't know, man. I really think it's important that men read a book like this. Let's just jump right in. I don't want to take too long. I don't want to spend an entire afternoon talking about this, but I do want to give you guys my thoughts. Excuse me. Before we jump in, please hit the like button if you're enjoying my content. If you haven't subscribed yet, we're trying to hit 12K. We're almost there, a couple hundred away. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel further, there's a few ways to do that. My Patreon's the easiest. And we have monthly giveaways, exclusive content, an exclusive Discord, and you have input on the channel. Those are the main things that you get out of my Patreon. But we have a lot of fun in the Discord. So just throw that out there. You just if you want to. Anyways, I'm just glad you're here. Honestly, I'm glad I'm able to do this. This has become my job. It's pretty incredible, and I'm not doing. I haven't hit my goals quite yet, but I'm very proud to say that I'm able to do this full time. So anyways, yeah, man, I'll be honest, because it's kind of tough to say this with a straight face, knowing what this book is about and what she says in the book. When I first became aware of her, it was like the crush type thing. I thought she was incredibly pretty, and I liked what she was doing. And I've always been, when you have that line in the sand, I'm on that side. You know what I'm saying? I what's the word? Defend, support, and partake in, queer punk music. I think that people of all shapes, sizes, and colors need to be welcomed and treated the same. I don't think there should be any reason for you to, treat somebody different because of who they are. I think that's ridiculous. But I think that's a big part of punk rock, isn't it? You come in and you get to be yourself, and you should be treated the same as everybody else is treated. So one of the reasons why I think men should read a book like this, I'm not going to tell you everything that happens in the book, because I think that would kind of defeat the purpose of you reading it. But you get to hear a story. There's a number of people, and I'm doing this kind of off the cuff, so my apologies if it's not organized. I should have probably written a bunch of notes down, but I just got inspired by this book, and I wanted to talk about it. So I think, okay, let me start here. The first reason that I think people should read this book is because she talks about wanting to do a thing, trying, not necessarily doing it that well yet, trying again, getting a little bit better, trying again, and ultimately succeeding. She meets people that she's a fan of, that she admires. She meets some of her heroes. That goes well in some points. Sometimes it doesn't. But it's a really good story of a person that might mimic the life that somebody watching this or the guy making this might live, right? So it's nice to see people that we admire went through some of the things that we're going through. It gives you motivation. It gives you a little bit more security. Like you'll have a little more thick skin maybe, but it'll motivate you to go out and do the things that you want to do. This will motivate you to create. This book will motivate somebody to start a band. This will motivate a young lady to start a feminist band. This will motivate a young man to start a punk band. This book will motivate a young man to treat a young woman a little bit more respectfully. I would hope. I would hope so. There's stories in this that are hard to stomach, man. She tells everything. It's a memoir. It's about her whole life, and it starts as a young girl all the way up till current day, or I guess you know, late stage with Tigre. It's captivating stuff, man. It's heartbreaking. It's also something I admire, and she talks about people that I love. I just think it's a thing that, as men, when women talk about assault, all right, specifically SA, right? It's sometimes you find yourself as a man wanting to question the validity of their claims, and sometimes, and I'm speaking from personal experience here too. I'm not perfect. I want to be better all the time. I don't ever want to just stop improving. I want to always try to be better as a husband, a father, as a man, as an American, as an ally, as a person. I want to be a better person. We're living in crazy times, man. I'm not proud to be an American right now. That sucks. So I'll choose to be a better everything else, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be a crazy conversation probably, but you hear somebody make a claim, and I don't know. I think there are some people that just hear a claim, automatically assume it's true. I've been on both sides of that coin. I've had things happen to me, and then I've also had friends who people said they did something that they didn't do, and it ruined their life. Their whole life was ruined. So it puts me in a unique situation because I'm very empathetic, and if somebody says something, I take it seriously, and I want to take it seriously. My point is that this book will give you like a POV shot of living that life. You'll get to hear stories, and they're tragic too, man. She tells a lot of, I don't, she has got a lot of courage to come out and talk about all this stuff, and I'm sure she's talked about it for years. But like, this book is, you can go back and reference the book. You can go back and go, well, you said this right here. That takes courage, in my opinion. I just think that men should read this book. It's really driving me nuts. As I know, when I was younger, I was a lot worse at this. But I know that sometimes people don't want to listen, and you need to. And if you can read a story like this, you can hear things. This kind of book should change you as a person, not just a man, but a person. And I think that's good. It should change you for the better. It should help you grow. And if you can hear a story, not only of triumph within like personal journey, becoming a musician and doing things you love, creating zines, being a part of a community, but like, it'll help you understand a woman's point of view. And I think that's important. I think it's important to understand where a woman's coming from within punk, within society, within your family. I've got a wife and I've got a daughter. I want to read books like this so that I can understand where they're coming from better. You have to be willing to, well, learn, listen. You know what I'm saying? So I think this book really, it made me sad. Yeah, I don't know. When you literally open yourself up for the whole world to read your story, you're being very brave in it because you're becoming very vulnerable to trash talk, to people that want to roll their eyes and think you're a liar. Ultimately, I don't think that there's anything here that I have a problem believing. I would love to talk to her one day. Not about any of this necessarily. Well, about the music part of her life. I don't want to make her repeat these stories. I want to hear about the music. So, Kathleen Hanna, if you ever see this, or anybody that's representative of hers, man, please get in touch with me. I just want to hear about, I don't know, I just want to hear some more stories. I want to hear more about the bands, the touring, the life. And I think it needs to be talked about more out in the open. I think a woman's point of view is very important, and I think it's a necessity for us to want to listen and learn. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm saying. The book is A1, man. The book was excellent. I really, really enjoyed the book. If I had to grade it on a scale of like 1 to 10, probably give it like, honestly, like a 9. It was like really good. Very easy to read, or listen to rather, excuse me. I didn't sit down and read it. Let me keep repeating that. It was very easy to get through. She narrates the book, so it's easy to, because you kind of know her voice already if you're a fan of her music. So it's one person's perspective, but I feel like she's pretty honest with her shortcomings and things that she wanted to change, and I think that's important. She's very liberal. She's a feminist, so like if that isn't something you can handle, then maybe don't read it, I guess. But I honestly think that if you're super, I guess, conservative. It'd be weird if somebody conservative read this, I guess, but they should. I would read a conservative book. You need to be willing to listen. And this is a great opportunity for that. Check out a story from a woman that I know, if you're in the punk community, you at least know who she is. You likely enjoy her music and admire her to some degree. And I like that it takes a person that you might put on a pedestal and it normalizes her, and it humanizes her, because she doesn't shy away from the fact that she's imperfect. I don't know. I really enjoyed this. I don't read a lot of books like this. And as I'm growing the channel and I'm doing research for projects, I'm finding myself going to these books. I got a couple more. They're on my bookshelf. They're actual books that weren't available online. I'm going to sit there and start reading those. But I'm going to take the opportunity to highlight parts I really like, put notes in there, put little tabs in there. I think it's going to help this become a better channel. It's going to help me be a more informed human and a more informed man. I think that's important. Basically, this is the long way of saying that I think men should read this book so that they would understand a woman better. It's important. Like, this story is tragic, but it's important. Her story is actually quite, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, I admire what she did. I admire her story. I think that she's a brave person. And yeah, it's an interesting story, man. It's a good love story at the same time. There's all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, there's everything. This book's got just wild stuff. It'll also show you that you're not alone. This is another book from a person that wants to connect to her audience in a way that some people aren't willing to do. I think it's awesome. I don't know. I just wanted to sit down for a minute and talk about this book, tell you how I feel about it a little bit, encourage you to read it, listen to it, whatever, ingest the information. I want to encourage men to listen to women, and I want to encourage women to speak up. If you're a woman and you read this, it might help you speak out against somebody that's doing something to you or something that you saw. I think it's important for that. And the more examples that we have of people doing these things, because it's difficult. Even doing this review is kind of difficult. I should have written notes down. I'm stumbling over my words now. I'm a little nervous. I don't want her, fan base to like hate me for some reason. It seems like when I think I did a good job, I never do. So I have a feeling right now I'm about to get smoked in the comments, but it's all right. I really enjoyed this book. Hearing her story was eye-opening. I felt myself like hurting for her a few times. Like, there was a couple of parts in this book where I had to like pause it, and I just sat on my at my table in my kitchen and just like shook my head and just had to like reflect on what she was saying. I think I'm just getting older. I'm becoming a little more wise. I'm becoming much more gentle. This stuff only comes with age. And I got a long way to go. A lot of growth I need to still do. Growing I still need to do is the right way to say that, I guess. But, I'm not an educated man. I would say I'm pretty smart, pretty bright, but I'm not educated. I didn't go to school. I like reading, though. I like listening to books. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. But this information is important. This story is important. Her story is important. Her music is important. You'll learn a lot about Riot Grrrl, which I think is a very good... That's the reason I wanted to read this, is for that part of it. I was going to just listen to the parts about Riot Grrrl, and the book sucked me in. That's actually what I should have said at the very beginning, is that I only got this book to listen to a small portion of it for research, and I listened to the whole book. That's right there. That's the book review. I bought it for this much, but I read the whole thing. That's good, man. I don't know. If you've read it, let me know what you think. I want to quit talking. It's been 15 minutes. That's too much time. Kathleen Hanna, I appreciate you. I'm sorry you went through those things, but I'm glad that we got the stuff we got from you. I don't know how you would feel about... Some people say I would never want to change the way my life went, because then I wouldn't be where I am and who I am, and that's kind of how I feel. But I wish you didn't have to go through all that stuff in order to give us the beautiful artwork you gave us. So if you see this, I appreciate you, and thank you for the book. Anybody out there, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about me doing more book reviews, if I maybe write something down and go a little more, I don't know, focused with it? My ADHD rocks these videos sometimes. It just takes over. But what if I did more book talks, I guess, book reviews? Yeah. Rebel Girl, My Life as a Feminist Punk by Kathleen Hanna. Out now, physical, audio, really, really good read. It's not too long. Couldn't recommend it enough. If you're a man, go listen to or read this book. because you need to hear all this stuff from a person's perspective that went through it and dealt with it. It might make you more compassionate and more empathetic. We need more of that. We need more empathy and compassion in this world. We need more kindness. And if you're a man and a woman says even the slightest thing that resembles, I'm not interested in this, stop. Stop. There's plenty of ways to get those feelings without doing it against somebody's will. All right? Love you guys, man. Please support the channel in any way, shape, or form that you can. I appreciate you. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.